Yo, guys, my name is Mr. Freeze2244 and welcome to the patch notes video for HITMAN World of Assassination in August. This is for patch 3.160 for all platforms, starting from today. So by the time this video goes live, the patch and the maintenance is probably all going to be up for you right now. So I'm going to go through all the details of the patch notes of what's new, what's changed, and what's been fixed. So I'm going to leave the link of the blog post in the description so you can follow along with me, and I'll leave the most important stuff on the screen as I usually do. So let's get into it. So from the top it says from the introduction, the World of Assassination patch for August brings improvements, tweaks and fixes that improve the gameplay experience across all modes including Freelancer. This patch also prepares the game for the physical release of HITMAN World of Assassination on PS5 on August 25th, and for the return of the Sarajevo 6 campaign and Trinity Pack, both available as premium content on August 17th, which is today. Patch details. HITMAN World of Assassination will be updated to version 3.160 on all platforms: PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Series X, S, PC and Switch. Maintenance starts at 10 AM UTC and is expected to run until at least 1:30 UTC. If maintenance is extended, updates will be posted to the official HITMAN Twitter account. Patch release time 11 AM UTC. This is when the download will roll out, but servers will not be available during this time because of the maintenance period. So once the maintenance period is up and once it's concluded, you'll be able to play the game with the new patch installed. Patch size is expected to come around 2 to 5 gigabytes depending on the platform. Switch players don't need to download any patch because it's automatically done. But in regards to the new content that's coming this month, people expected this because we mentioned it a long time ago. The Trinity Pack is now officially available for all players. The Trinity Pack is now available for all players as premium content, however. Priced at $5 or the local equivalent. For me in the UK, it's £3.99, and that is the Sarajevo 6 as well. So you got the Trinity Pack for $3.99. The Sarajevo 6 campaign is also $3.99. So they are individually priced. They are not together. And yeah, they're two separate DLCs that you'll need to purchase. So yeah, previously only available to anyone who pre-ordered Hitman 3 prior to release in 2021, this content pack celebrates each game in the World of Assassination trilogy with a total of 9 items. The items are comprised of an ICA-19 variant, briefcase and suit in the following colours: Premier White of Hitman 1, Crimson Red of Hitman 2 and the Ultimate Black of Hitman 3. So that's the Trinity Pack. So if you are into the suits and stuff like that and the variations of the different weapon colours of the guns and the briefcases, then you can purchase the Trinity Pack for £3.99 or $5 or whatever the equivalent is in your country. I know a lot of you are going to be triggered with me saying purchase now, but I think it's quite funny. It says, no, if you've pre-ordered Hitman 3 and already own this content, you should see that ownership reflected in the store. So therefore, if you're trying to buy it again for some reason, it's not going to be available because it will say already owned. I've already checked. Sarajevo 6 campaign. The Sarajevo 6 campaign returns to the HITMAN World of Assassination after a long hiatus. This 6-mission campaign tells a self-contained story that revolves around former members of the parliamentary unit known as Cicada, giving access to these missions: the Director in Paris, the Enforcer in Sapienza, the Extractor in Marrakesh, the Veteran in Bangkok, the Mercenary in Colorado, and the Controller in Hokkaido. So that's 6 missions. They're basically, if you've never played them before, they're basically 6 elusive targets, pretty much. Now you're probably going to ask as well, is it worth it? Or is it worth buying? Only you can answer that question. I can't answer the question for you. Everyone's personal financial situation is different. Money means different to different people. This content might mean more to someone else than to me. For example, some people might really be into this sort of content for elusive targets and stuff like that. I've lost interest in elusive targets personally. So if this was new content to me, I wouldn't be that bothered. I've already played this in Hitman 2016, so again, this doesn't interest me as much as it would if you were a new player to this. But if you haven't experienced this before, then you might be interested in this. You might be worth a purchase for you, but it all comes down to you. And if you're going to ask as well, is there any rewards with it? No, there isn't. There's no additional rewards for it. No special suits, no special items for completing it. It is the 6 missions and that's it. So if you're expecting anything more than that, then just keep that in mind. It's $4.99 which is the current price on the store, which is $4.99, which is what I'm referring to. But in the UK, it's £3.99 if you want to purchase in the UK. I'm assuming it's probably going to be €5 across Europe as well, but I don't know. But again, it's up to you whether you think it's worth it or not. Anyway, let's move on to the next parts. Technology PC specific. So this is PC specific stuff. Intel XeSS, we've updated from version 1.0 to 1.1 in this new version, fixes a small GPU memory leak. Ray tracing, we've resolved an issue where ray tracing settings between the launcher and game options in-game would not always be aligned and they could inadvertently overwrite each other. DLSS frame generation, we've resolved an issue where the DLSS frame generation option would be grayed out in the launcher on the NVIDIA RTX 40 series cards. So those of you are fortunate enough to have the 40 series card, they've resolved that issue for the DLSS 3.0. Does the game even need the frame generation for this game? I think this game's quite well optimized for PC in a way as it already is. Do you guys on the 40 series graphics cards need DLSS 3.0? I would say no. So I'm not sure why they put that in the game, really, to be honest. That's my personal opinion. Hand 2 port. We've resolved an issue on the Hand 2 port Sniper Assassin map, where certain textures would appear pixelated with many jagged edges for players that had enabled FSR2 or XeSS. So they fixed that. Stability improvements. Yes, this is always here. In addition to general stability improvements, this patch includes specific fixes for a crash on the landslide bonus mission, as well as common crashes that were occurring on all platforms. Interesting. This next section dives into the freelancer improvements. It says these improvements are all directly linked to freelancer mode. We've added this little paragraph so that we don't have to put freelancer in brackets after each and every one. So the first one is that they pointed out is the perfect run. I think this is the premium. Was it the premium objective? What are they called these days? Prestige objectives. That's it. I haven't played freelancer for a while, even though you're seeing freelancer footage on the screen right now. This is like old footage. So it says we've disabled the perfect run objective in freelancer, like straight up removed it from the game for now. It says we're hopeful that this is a temporary measure and we're looking into a permanent fix for it. Unfortunately, we don't have a definitive reason for why this objective is acting like it is and registering as failed despite all the criteria being completed. We are able to see an extended delay in perfect run from being evaluated to it resulting in a failed state, even though we're talking milliseconds. That delay is just over 3 times longer than any other complete on X objectives. Until we can get a better grip on resolving this, we're removing this objective from the game to avoid player frustration. I can understand that frustration as well, like because getting a perfect run is not easy. Like some objectives that can be a little bit tricky, and some of them are not straight up not worth it. So you might want to just skip one objectives, but when you're taking on the prestige objective of the perfect run, and you've gone through the extra effort of doing that, and it takes extra time, and then you exit the mission, you don't even get that bonus. That can be quite frustrating. Personally speaking, I haven't had that issue, not to my knowledge anyway, or maybe I've just not been paying attention, but I haven't really experienced that perfect run bonus thing not being awarded. But I have heard other people complain about it, so it's I don't know what to think. My best guess is they won't put it back. It's just the easiest thing to do, isn't it? Just to remove something that doesn't work. I remember a time when Berlin first came out in Hitman 3, and there was a manhole next to the delivery boy. That was used as an exit, but sometimes that would break, and there was a thing where you could use that manhole and the game would act in like an exit state, and then after that you could go around murdering everybody in the map and you'd still get Silent Assassin rating for it. Instead of fixing the issue, they removed it, and they never put it back. So I wouldn't be surprised they won't put this back either, but that's just my guess. We're hopeful that maybe the next patch they will, which is November. But anyway, that's the perfect run objective thing mentioned. Anyway, let's move on to the next bit, which is quite a funny one as well. The title of it is Alt F14606. It says there's always an alternative, and we've reverted the removal of the Alt F4 exploit for a freelancer. You should now expect the same behavior from those buttons that existed at freelancer's launch in January. What What's the point? What is the point? First of all, back when the technical test came out, they was aware of this Alt F4 thing, where you could Alt F4 and you'll be able to replay your freelancer mission without kind of like any kind of punishment for it. And then people were cottoning on to that. I mean, it's the same thing with the looser targets. If you mess up in the looser target, Alt F4 and you'll be able to replay it. The people have been doing it for years, and they've been well aware of it, these developers. And then when it come to January, they said that they weren't going to fix it, even though they were aware of it. And then in the next patch, was it May? I think it was a May patch. They said they have fixed it. And then immediately people found alternative ways to get around it. All they essentially did is when you press Alt F4, it entered in sort of like a loading screen, and it would basically, that's used for basically punishing you to remove all your stuff, as if it acted like you quit the game rather than just Alt F4. And the way around that was to just spam Alt F4 multiple times. So you're Alt F4 in the Alt F4 screen, essentially. And they've just basically just realised, thinking, you know what, just forget it. And then just let them have it. And they've reverted it again, so I don't expect that to be fixed again in the future. So, as of today, you can Alt F4 to your heart's content. There is no way of them stopping you at the moment. So you can Alt F4 on PC now, just as you used to be able to, and this time there's no risk to it. You can Alt F4 and you'll have no problems. Console guys, you guys can just quit game to the desktop, well, to the main game hub, and you can reboot the game, or you can turn off your console and whatever, or you can disconnect your internet. For everyone on console, it's exactly the same as it always was. But for PC players, you can now Alt F4 as much as you like. I just found it funny that they reverted it again. So it's like the third or fourth time they've had to mention it now. Next thing they mentioned is the undercover UI. We've removed a rogue UI element that could show up in a storage room in Miami when playing Freelancer. Similar story to the UI icon that could appear on the intel wall in the safe house. People thought this was some sort of Easter egg, including myself. We was investigating it on several streams back in a few months ago. I think it was. But you was able to scan like the servers next to the security room, and it only appeared in Freelancer. People didn't know what that was. People thought it was related to some sort of like Easter egg or something like that. Maybe something to do with the elusive coin, the outstanding service coin that they still haven't mentioned after, was it 7 months now, or 8 months since Freelancer first came out. People still don't know how to unlock that outstanding service coin to this date, and they still haven't mentioned it anywhere. Not even in these patch notes either. So if I was you guys and you really are kind of that bothered about this coin, I would recommend just keep getting on at the developers, whether it be on Reddit, whether it be on Twitter, whatever. Just keep mentioning it to them until they tell you what's going on with it, because it's in the toolbox. And for those people that have got OCD, it can be pretty frustrating having everything in your toolbox and still having a gap there, not knowing how to actually unlock the item that you're trying to unlock. I'm pretty sure it was there in the technical test. I don't know. But yeah, anyway. There's no Easter egg behind that UI thing. So they've removed it altogether anyway. So anyway, moving on. Black Winter Mirror. We've resolved an issue where the winter suit and black winter suit didn't look too good in the upstairs bathroom or gym mirrors in the safe house. The reason was a mismatch between the level of detail set up on the suits and these particular mirrors. So I'm guessing it was showing like a low quality or low poly version of that suit in the mirror. I wish I'd known. I wish I would have looked at that. Sounds quite interesting. Chloroform ban. This is another thing that I'm not quite happy about, because it seems to be like they don't seem to like players having fun with the game anymore. It says, we've made dropping a chloroform flask an illegal action. This was deemed to be a little too overpowered, especially during showdown missions. What a load of crap. We've made it illegal action. Overpowered. I mean, come on. This is a single player experience. Even in Freelancer, you can't even hide behind the fact that there's leaderboards in the game. There's no leaderboards in Freelancer. Why do they care so much about stuff, about players finding clever ways to get around situations? Why are they so bothered by it? I mean, it comes back to the, you know, when they brought out the electrocution phone. You could argue that it's overpowered, but you could also argue that you got an item that's actually useful. How many items that we have in Hitman? I think it's over 200 and something actually. How many of these items are actually useful? And if you work it out, there's probably about 10 items in the whole entire game that you can actually do something with. Everything else is just useless. When players come up with a clever way of using an item, they go and fix it, or patch it, or remove it or straight from the game. It's like the Molotov. That was a fun item to have. They finally brought out an item that was fun, and players were coming up with creative ways to utilize it. And what do? They go and fix it by removing the accident element of it. And now the Molotov is completely useless. So you've removed all those players' fun and joy they got from that item. For what? What was the point of that? Now they've got no Molotov to... Well, you've got a Molotov still in the game, but what's the point of it? What is the point of it now? What is wrong with players having these items? What's wrong with this? This is a single-player game. Who cares about players using these items? I don't know. I just find these things bizarre from developers doing this in a single-player game that's been around for 7 years. I don't know. It just seems a bit stupid to me. Calling that too overpowered. I mean, seriously? Anyway, Safe House Hangar. We resolved an issue in the freelancer Hit Mansion where the Mastery Level 24 basement bathroom cosmetic wasn't displaying properly. Brilliant. World of Assassination fixes. Here we go. It says, whilst these fixes aren't directly related to Freelancer, many of them will have an impact on gameplay opportunities in that mode, as well as improve the other game modes. General texture check. We've done a general sweep of textures across all locations and fixed a whole bunch, approximately 35, of different texture issues, including flickering, pop-in lens flares, seeing out of world, etc. So they fixed all those things. I remember there was like a texture issue on the waiters with the apron. They had like flickering textures on that. I mean, I know they fixed that a couple of months back, but I remember that sort of thing happening. And Cassidy's like suit sometimes would be like really shiny. That would be quite weird. But yeah, maybe they fixed that with this. So yeah, that's cool. Oversized subtitles. We've enabled a new upper limit on the font size. My bad. We've enabled a new upper limit on the font size of our in-game subtitles from 46 to 48. Why not 47? You missed an opportunity there. Obtuse gas grenade glow. Oh my god, I remember this. We've dialed back the emissive settings of the gas grenade. That thing was set to an extremely high level and was outputting some extreme light, which is especially visible in darker areas of the game. Are they talking about that, oh, which one was it now? It's just the one that glows. I can't remember this what specifically it is. It's not the default one, it's the is it the Guru one? I think it's the Guru gas grenade. I think it could be that one. But it's like, I don't know, it's like plutonium or something like that. You know, that started Simpsons, when Homer Simpson's got the plutonium and chucked it out the window in the car? Like that. But yeah, it's quite funny. But finally fixed it. A bit like the ninja suit that was just like overbearing on how bright it was, especially in dark areas like Paris. It's crazy. Right, next part is difficult cameras. We've resolved an issue where throwable items would lock onto invisible security cameras on casual difficulty. These particular cameras were the ones present on professional difficulty. Brilliant. So they've removed the cameras, but essentially what they've done, they've made them invisible. I'm guessing that's what they did. So they didn't remove the cameras on casual difficulty, they just made them invisible. I didn't even know that. It's interesting. But yeah, no, they fixed that. Bathroom break. We've resolved an issue where a guard in the Voltaire suite in Paris would react to the radio in the Sheik's bathroom. That's way too far even for game logic, so we've prevented him from investigating in the future. That's good. There's several situations that are like that throughout the game, really. Yet another disappearance. We've resolved an issue where Dino Bosco would immediately depart the world of assassination by the quickest possible route through the floor if 47 snapped his neck in his trailer. So I'm guessing what, he just dropped straight through the middle? Okay, fair enough. I think I've seen that happen before, but I've actually seen 47 drop through the floor. And while he's still in the animation of it. That was like years ago though. I think he was in Hokkaido. Escape room. We've resolved an issue where Agent 47 gets stuck in a box in Colorado. After subduing an NPC from cover. There wasn't much real estate to move things around here, but we've made a nearby cover slightly smaller and rotated a crate. Those two changes could give 47 a little bit more room to maneuver. Hope that hasn't messed with my Silent Assassin suit only default loadout method for that game. For that map, I should say. Where could that be? Escape room. I don't know. I wish they'd show us like a picture or something or tell us where it is. Clean view. We've resolved an issue where Agent 47 can get spotted through a wall in Hokkaido whilst performing agility moves next to the sushi restaurant. Cool. Look at the shine. We've resolved an issue where Nolan Cassidy's jacket would look way too shiny. There we go. That's what I mentioned earlier. Compared to how it was supposed to look. There's nothing wrong with shiny jackets, but it's not the right look for Nolan Cassidy. Yeah, it kind of looked like he was showered with his clothes on. And he's come out and it's like, it's a weird texture kind of thing. I think it was basically just a texture issue that it just didn't load properly. But yeah, they fixed it. Even game makers don't hate you, says. So we resolved an issue in Miami where it was possible to clip through a box and vault over the stairs near the track bridge. Is that how players was able to get onto the actual track itself? Because I've seen footage of that in a short on YouTube. More Fortuna. We've resolved an issue where an inaccessible door in Santa Fortuna near the warehouse can be shot open, which causes it to clip into the environment. Now the door is bulletproof and it has nothing to lose. Inaccessible door in Santa Fortuna near the warehouse. I don't recall this door. Does anyone know what door they're referring to? I don't remember this. Let me know in the comments if you do. Anyway, extensive indoor flora. So we've resolved an issue where branches from a nearby tree can be seen venturing through the concrete roof of the Delgado Mansion garage in Santa Fortuna. We've fixed this issue in a surprisingly simple way. We've rotated the tree a little bit so that the angles line up and keep the branches out of the garage. Did someone actually report that? Something like that? I mean, is that really something that bothers people? I mean, fair enough if it does, but I just think that's really something really small and specific to be worried about. In the grand scheme of things, when stuff like the punch glitch still exists in the game, after nearly 7.5 years of this game being out, the punch glitch still exists. Yeah, just thought I'd point that out. Extensive door... Oh no, I read that. No more X-ray. We've resolved an issue on the Isla scale where 47 could be spotted through the wall of the gatehouse bathroom. Okay, I'm glad that they're fixing these spotted through the wall things because there's just too many in the game. And I understand that they can't fix it unless you report them. I mean, yeah. I'll point them out on my stream, but I never report them myself personally. But maybe I should start doing that. Surprise death wall. We've resolved an issue where 47, not 47. Sorry. We've resolved an issue where NPCs, but not 47, would be insta-killed when they got too close to a specific wall in either scale. Ironically enough, the death wall is located in the morgue and would kill any NPC that was right up against it. To remedy this, we added some extra collision along the wall, but that didn't work. We could see the NPCs were able to step just outside the nav mesh bounds, basically the areas where they were allowed to be. And although we tried a few other changes, the death wall kept on claiming victims. Now we have fixed the issue by adding a bunch of boxes and stuff right next to the wall to keep the NPCs away. Despite the fix, Death Wall TM is still there and waiting to claim more lives. Stay frosty. I think that's right by the stairs, judging from that picture right there. I've never experienced that, but you do sometimes see when you're actually playing through the map, some of these maps, which is probably what this is on other maps as well. Sometimes you'll play the map, all of a sudden you get a random NPC just a non-target kill. I think, what the hell happened there? What happened there? Why do I get a non-target kill? And that's probably what it is. It's the same when you reload a save sometimes and it happens. Moving on. Dirty money. We resolved an issue where a floating dirt texture in the New York bank was visible in the west corridor. Again, like, is that really like a big deal? Bulldog bedroom balcony. Resolved an issue where Agent 47 could drop down from the ledge in Dartmoor by using an agility setup from cover. Yeah, I wish they'd keep that sort of thing in, to be honest. It's a bit like another bug. They've had it since 2016 again. The Sapienza laboratory area, the cliff, you could just aim, move forward and drop the button, and your 47 will just walk off the edge of the cliff. They've never fixed that. I'm certain they know it exists, but they've never fixed it. And people are just okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's not a big deal. Eats, shoots, and leaves. We've resolved an issue in Dartmoor where some leaves on the ground were not displaying properly and instead would appear as the small black squares. Also in Dartmoor, we resolved several instances where textures would again, it's one of those texture. Was it like a streaming issue, isn't it? Yeah, texture streaming issue. But they've fixed it all now. Cover up. We resolved a few issues in Berlin with several redundant covers being present, both near the gas station and the rooftop stairs. Cool. Glow sticks. We resolved an issue in Berlin where certain climbable pipes weren't visible in instinct. We've added a traversal glow to these now. Okay, good. From homing to disappearing, we resolved an issue in Chongqing where retrieving a large item from a briefcase in certain rooms could result in the briefcase disappearing into the floor. Turns out that the issue was caused by the setup of a specific type of door in this location. That's strange. Dirty laundry. We've tweaked the properties of the garbage can / rubbish bin in the Chongqing laundromat, so there's no longer used by NPCs as a sick spot. Now they will vomit and throw up outside of the building. Cool, I like that. I'd like to have all NPCs not prioritise bins at all. I mean, I know it's incredibly unrealistic for them to like walk a mile away to get to a bathroom, but at the end of the day, would you want to be puking up in a public rubbish bin in front of everybody? I'd rather take that extra 10, 15 seconds or something to try and reach a bathroom if I know no one's close by. You know what I mean? Electropacity. Have I read that right? Yeah, I think I have. We resolved an issue where 47 could accidentally create an elaborate accident kill on himself. He's just that good. So on level 5 of the facility in Chongqing, it was possible for 47 to expose a wire and create a water leak, but turning on the fuse box would also see 47 caught in his own trap. Caught in a trap. So whilst it was possible to turn on the fuse box before the water spread to where the fuse box was located, it was tricky. I actually I know exactly where the spot is. It's the break room, isn't it? Because I'm going back to what I remember from when making this video. I had to make sure that I basically turned it off and exited before that puddle reached 47 before it killed you. So I know exactly what it's talking to here. So it says we've reduced how far the water was spread and delayed it a bit to make it more flexible. It's still a small room and players need to be aware of where they step, but this change will make it less of an insta-kill. Cool. They could just do like, instead of an insta-kill thing with electrocution for 47, they could just do like a significant damage over time, so like 2 or 3 ticks and you die. They could do that. For electrocutions, I mean, yeah, well, I don't know. I don't really know how it works in real life. But then again, it is a game. I don't know. Agent Parkour 7. So we've retweaked the agility setup near the ICA apartment in Chongqing to make it more reliable and less likely to get stuck or fall out of the playable game space. Flawed. We resolved an issue in Ambrose Island where agencies could see through 47 through the floor where he was standing in a hut above them. Again, I like when they fix these see-through walls and floors issues, so I'm glad they are fixing those still. Live fixes. It says since our last patch in May, we resolved a handful of issues in the game without the need for a patch. We've listed them here for posterity. Freelancer XP. An issue was resolved where players would not receive the expected bonus XP after reaching prestige level 2 or higher and completing missions. ET challenges. We resolved separate issues where the Deceivers and Appraiser elusive target contracts were activated without the accompanying completion challenges. When this happens, we typically release the challenges immediately to improve the experience for anybody playing the mission after this point. We then wait until the end of the elusive target duration and retroactively award the challenges to the players who should have got them. Even then, this fixed process can only be applied to a player's profile when they are not currently playing online, which means that some players may see their progression displayed accurately whilst others don't. We continue to roll out the fixed process until all effective players are seeing a correct progression on their profile. Japanese Xbox Store resolved a store-side issue for Xbox players in Japan who were unable to install some content from the World of Assassination. And it just ends there. The patch notes just end there. There's no like, see you next time, or look forward to more, or something like that. That is literally the end of it. So there's not really much going on overall in terms of the whole of the patch notes. Really, the main things coming out of this patch notes, I could tell, the main takeaways is Sarajevo 6 is now available to purchase. The Trinity Pack, which was the pre-order bonus, is now available to purchase as well. The Alt F4 is back. You can now do that as much as you like. The Perfect Run bonus has been removed. The Perfect Run objective overall has been removed, I should say. Dropping a chloroform flask is now an illegal action. And apart from that, that's about it. There's not really much else going on that would affect anybody, really, without going into all the detail that I already have. But, yeah, there you go. There's all the patch notes. The patch is live now. I've just downloaded it, so I've installed it now. So I don't know when maintenance is up. Probably, as this video is live, the maintenance will be up. Later on, I shall be doing a live stream of the Sarajevo 6. So hopefully I'll see you there. And, yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on what you think about this patch notes. What's your main takeaway from this as well? I'm interested to know. Are you going to purchase the Sarajevo 6? Are you going to purchase the Trinity Pack? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you think it's worth it and what do you think of the price. But that's going to do it for this one. So thank you very much for watching. Again, feel free to drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you want to the channel. And click the bell icon and click all notifications. Do you want to be notified of all videos and live streams? Consider supporting me on Patreon or even becoming a member of the channel by clicking the join button below or clicking the link in the description for all the details. And these credits have been updated, so you should see your name if you subscribed last month as a new member or a new patron. And I shall see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.